Okay, so you're in El Salvador, you're at war with 18th Street, and also being targeted by the Black Shadows. So you decide to come back to the US in 1995.
Yes.
But as you're getting ready to cross the border, you get kidnapped.
One of the times that I tried to cross it
Okay,
into Mexico.
by the Mexican federales?
And yes, the group that I was with on the third time that we were trying to cross. That's when they got us out of a bus. We were going from Oaxaca to Acapulco, and they stopped the bus and got us all down. And they wanted money, and they didn't want the little bit of money that we had. So they took us all and locked us up in a room in a motel. All of us.
How many people?
It's probably about 20 people
20 people are locked up
in a motel.
by the Mexican police.
Yeah, federales.
Right. It's funny. I've told the story a couple of times. The only time I've ever gotten robbed was in Mexico by the police.
Okay.
You know, and once it was happening, I said, I can't do anything about this. What I'm going to do, go complain to the police?
Yeah, exactly.
I just had to, they took like $300 from me and then, drove off.
Yeah, yeah.
So what happened with this whole kidnapping situation? How'd you get free?
Well, for some reason that I still don't know, this chief of the municipality there decided to appoint me the key person to be able to do the errands. He also assigned me to go and call people and let them know to send the money.
Oh.
So he would take me to the police station to make the calls from the
In the police station. That's so crazy.
To the family, I would tell the family, look, I'm also a victim here. And, they want this money before for all of us to be released and continue our trip. And then I also was the one that would go out and purchase some food from the local market. So I befriended the lady at the market.
How long did this go on for until everyone was free?
It was probably about 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah. And the chief came over and he said, just 2 days before we escaped, he said, look, I got to go to the Capitol and I'm going to leave this individual in charge. We already had one group send in the money, so he had let one group go. But the coyote I was with, I had sent the money. My family had sent it, right? And he said, Alex, I need you to help me out, man, and guide the other half of the group. I know you could do it. There's nobody else that I could trust from the group. And I was like, fuck, all right, man. I'm going to get a discount out of this shit, man. Right? And so I went and
a ransom discount. So crazy.
So I told this guy, the chief left, and this guy, obviously was coming around. We always had a guard, one of their officers there. We would open up and let him know, hey, I'm gonna go out for some food. He would just nod his head and let me go. I was the only one that could go out. So I befriended this lady in the market that asked me one day, you're not from around here, huh? I said, no. She said, are you at the motel? I said, yeah. I see you buying a lot of food all the time. Yeah, And I was hesitant to say anything more, right? But she said, I know. They do that with a lot of immigrants. And I'm like, wow. And I just, opened up to her and I say, yeah, half of our group already left and they're waiting for the other group. And she said, okay, I'll give you some extra stuff for you guys. I said, okay, thanks. So I went over, I didn't see the guard there, right? So then I came back and got in and I told them, hey, they gave us extra food. The following day, I got out, opened the door, and the guard was not there. So I went to the market and I asked the lady, you know what, will you be willing to help us out? And she said, what do you mean? It's like the terminal for the buses was across the street from the hotel. I said, can you buy us the passes to take us from here to Acapulco? And she said, oh, I don't know. I don't want to get involved like that. Look, we'll give you the money. We'll give you the money and we'll trust you. So, I went back and I talked to the rest of the folks. I told them, man, cough up the money, man. So they all gave me the money, and I went back and I told the lady, here's the money, please, right? And she actually did. She agreed. So I already kind of like, the coyote had schooled me really quick. And I said, well, look, why don't you, and also the last 2 times that I have been deported from Mexico, I said, tell the bus to stop away from the terminal at least 2 blocks, and we'll be all waiting there. And she gave me the time and everything, and I came back, the guard wasn't there, and we had 2 hours, right, for the tickets. And I told the people, hey, it's either now or never. Let's go. So yeah, in little groups, we went out, right? And we ended up hiding in some bushes. And we were just hoping that the lady, well, I had the tickets. We were hoping that the bus showed up. And the bus showed up. And we came out of the bushes. We all went in there. And we were shitting bricks on the way to Acapulco, man. I was like, man, if they find out we're not in the hotel, they're going to fucking track us down like they did before. And they did it, man. So once we got to Acapulco, I told the driver, can you stop 2 blocks before the terminal, right? And then, yeah, he did. So we all got off. I had the number of the coyote. And I was able to call him, and I said, man, everybody's here, man. And he fucking brought some cars and picked us up and took us to a motel. Yeah, man. Yeah, that happened, man, like that.
Okay, so you eventually make it back to Los Angeles.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, man, as that, because we, from Acapulco, we took off to Matamoros and to cross the border into Brownsville, Texas. And crossing the border wasn't difficult. It was crossing the roadblocks that they had in the highway. And we needed to walk around the checkpoints, right, around like a mile in and then a mile around, and to be secure. And we ended up finding out that they had put 2 roadblocks, 2 checkpoints now of inspection. So now we had to walk like 3 or 4 times as much. And in the summer heat of Texas, we ran out of water. We ran out of food. And we couldn't walk during the daytime, so we had to be in the shade, and we walked during night. So it took us a while. And I remember one day, man, that I was like exhausted. We found this pond, man-made pond, and the water was full of fungus and green. And we all had the empty water bottles because we didn't drop them. We carried them. We just in hopes to find water. And we told them, we might die from fucking diarrhea. Or we're going to die from thirst.
I'll go for the diarrhea.
Let's go for it. So we put some socks on and filtered it as much as we could.
Wow. Yeah.
And we cheered and we drank it. And we kept walking.